So we've looked at Edward I. We're going to move on and look at the impact that Edward II had on York now. So Edward II is king from 1307 to 1327. So as we've looked at, Edward I had this idea that he wanted to conquer Scotland. He didn't do so. He failed to do so. So his son, Edward II, decided that he was going to try and do this as well. So he travelled often to York to try to deal with the problem and to deal with the threat of Robert the Bruce, who was the king of Scotland. So this led to, and this is from the English perspective, the disastrous Battle of Bannockburn in 1514, something which is much celebrated in Scotland. So on his way to the Battle of Bannockburn, Edward II marched through the city of York. The impact of this battle on York was left at risk of a Scots invasion, and we do see Scots invasions of York as a result of this policy towards Scotland. So the worst moment came in 1319, and the Scots were coming. So as the Scots were coming, York needed to assemble itself an army. So this is what they do, and they just get together any men who could form an army. So there were priests in there were monks in there was Nicholas Fleming, the mayor of York, who was involved in this army as well. And they meet the Scottish army and they get completely annihilated by the Scots. About 3,000 people die. Nicholas Fleming becomes the only mayor of York to die in battle while serving as mayor of York. So it's a disaster. In 1322, a Scots raiding party terrorised what the chroniclers referred to as the suburbs of York. So York remains for much of Edward II's reign terrified of these Scottish raiding parties, and it's not until they agree a truce with Robert the Bruce at a great council which met at Bishopthorpe in 1325 that the threat that the Scots posed comes to an end.